All right, let's jump right in. Power up, because today we are peeling back the screen on your favorite games to find the one secret command that makes it all happen. You ready?
I mean, really think about it. You've got asteroids just constantly flying at you, lasers firing everywhere, new enemies popping up. How does a game even keep track of all that? What's the secret engine making all that nonstop action possible?
Well, it's not some crazy, complicated code that only a super genius could write. Now, it's actually a really simple but incredibly powerful idea. And once you see it, you're going to start seeing it everywhere.
That's it. It's called a loop. This one simple thing is basically the heartbeat of almost every video game you have ever played. It's what makes the action feel endless and keeps you totally hooked.
So what exactly is a loop? Well, it's just a set of instructions that repeats over and over and over again. You know, kind of like when you brush your teeth. The action is brush, and you just keep doing it until a condition changes. In this case, your teeth are clean. Loops are also super efficient. Instead of telling the computer to do something a million times, you just tell it once and say, hey, keep doing this until I tell you to stop.
Okay, so let's pull back the curtain on Save the Galaxy and see for ourselves how these loops actually work their magic. We're going right inside the game's code.
You can think of loops as these little invisible robots working behind the scenes. They are constantly checking. Did my laser hit an enemy? They're the ones in charge of spawning new asteroids to throw at you. And they're always watching, ready to update your score the second you blow something up. Without loops, the game would just be, well, a picture. Nothing would happen. So let's start with maybe the most important thing you, the player, can do. Shooting your laser. How does the game know to fire a projectile every single time you press that button? It's all because of a super simple, really clever loop. The game is basically running a forever loop that asks one question thousands of times a second. Is the A button being pressed? Now? How about now? And if the answer is no, it just asks again. But the instant you press it, bam, the condition is met and it spawns your projectile. And look, this is pretty much what the code looks like. It's so simple, right? Forever loop just means run continuously. If A button pressed is the question it's asking, and spawn projectile is the action it takes. That's really all it takes to build a core feature of a game.
Okay, cool. So we can shoot, but a game isn't much fun if you've got nothing to shoot at, right? So how does the game keep the challenge coming? How does it make sure there's always a new wave of bad guys on the screen?
For this, it uses a slightly different kind of loop, a timed one. So instead of constantly checking for a button press, this loop runs on a clock. It just says, hey, every 2 seconds, I'm going to do my job. And its job is to create a new enemy. This is what keeps the pressure on and makes the game exciting.
All right, so you've seen how loops run a game. Now, get ready, because we're about to level up. We're going to see how this exact same idea connects to the real world of digital defense. Your coding skills are getting a major upgrade.
Now that might sound like a huge jump. I get it. A fun little space game on one hand and serious real-world computer security on the other. But what if I told you the basic idea, that core principle, is exactly the same?
It all boils down to this one phrase: continuous defense. Think about it. You can't just check for danger once and call it a day. In the game, your ship has to be on guard constantly. And in real life, your computer has to be on guard, non-stop, 24/7. And what is the absolute best way to do something continuously? You guessed it, a loop.
The parallels here are actually pretty wild when you look at them side by side. That loop in the game that's always checking if an asteroid hit you, that's doing the same job as a firewall scanning for malicious data. The game's spawning new enemies to challenge you. That's just like an antivirus program that's always looking for new threats. And when you lose a life in the game, that's basically the game's way of shouting, intrusion detected.
And this, right here, is the key takeaway. That same simple loop concept you'd use to make a laser fire in a game. It's the same fundamental idea that cybersecurity experts use to build the firewalls and antivirus programs protecting our entire digital world. It's all about repeating a check over and over to keep things safe.
So let's wrap this all up. By understanding this one simple concept, you've pretty much unlocked a brand new power in your coding journey.
Let's just recap your new superpower, the loop. You now know that it's what creates all that non-stop action, it's the engine that powers your favorite games, and maybe most importantly, it's the bedrock of all digital defense. This is a crucial tool, and now it's in your toolkit.
So seriously, congratulations.
By figuring out how to build a defense system in a game, you've just learned the first and most critical skill of being a real-world digital defender. You know how to set up a constant guard.
So I'm going to leave you with this question to think about. Now that you can spot them in games and in firewalls, where else are these secret hidden loops working all around us? Think about traffic lights, your social media feed, even a smart thermostat on the wall. Once you start looking for them, you'll see they are absolutely everywhere.